So we are about to launch on the next canto, Canto 6, the kingdoms and godheads of the greater life. We have seen the kingdoms of the little life, we have seen the godheads of the little life. Now he is going to take us to the kingdoms of greater life and introduce us to the godheads of that greater life. You see, this canto. Although the beginning is little melancholy, but still, as the canto proceeds, then you have something different coming up, you see. This canto, let me give you some statistics quickly so that we can get an idea. It's a huge canto, big canto, one of the longest cantos in Savitri. It has 6 sections in all, 249 sentences, 1017 lines in all, 1017 lines, huge line. So 249, 1017, the ratio is exactly 4 lines per sentence. 4 lines per sentence on average. Number of syllables 10.778. Total number of words 7,731. 7,731. Huge one, you see. So there are, as I said, 6 sections. First section is a kind of a section between the transit of what was there in the little life and what is going to follow in the next canto, you see. The section number 49, what we'll do shortly, and a part of section 50 also we will do today. The section 49 has 17 sentences. This is brief section that way, hardly just 79 lines, and total number of words is exactly 600. Now, Ashwapati has seen the lower life, the anarchy of lower life. Anarchy because there is no governing law, governing principle, governing mind, governing reason, governing factor there to organize all the aspects of life. Therefore, it is a kind of anarchy. It's only the life instinct which is playing in its own way in every direction, and therefore it is a sort of an anarchy. As one who between dim receding walls, you are passing through a tunnel and the walls are kind of going backward, you see, towards the far gleam of a tunnel's mouth, hoping for light. So he is hoping for light at the end of the tunnel, you see. At the end of the tunnel, we see now, walks now with freer pace and feels approach a breath of wider air. Feels approach a breath of wider air. A breath of wider air means a better life, a greater life, a superior life, higher life. Not exactly very great, but definitely better than what was there until now, you see. The grey anarchy. He escaped from that grey anarchy, that he of course stands for Ashwapati. Escaped from that grey anarchy. Grey, well, because there is no controlling factor, there is no controlling reason, controlling mind there, you see, controlling law. The instinct of life is absolutely free to do whatever she wants to do in whatever direction she wants. She doesn't bother about the consequences of that, just express life. But I tell you, this is really a great miracle that life has that kind of a power. Only with that sort of a power that something could be done in matter. Matter which is stiff, very rigid, very dull, not responsive at all. And if you have to really shake up matter, then you really need something of that kind. So there is a very great logic, a higher logic, a superior logic, how after matter has to enter life and to stir up matter, you see, completely, you see. But then that is how the evolution has gone through, and this is what we are seeing here. Into an effectual world he came. Well, he is of course escaping the great anarchy, but he is entering into a world which is still ineffectual, which is not really determinative, which is not going to bring something very positive in existence. Into an ineffectual world he came, a purposeless region of arrested birth, where being from non-being fled and dared to live but had no strength long to abide. The entire metaphysics is in these two lines. The entire metaphysics in these two lines. Where being from non-being fled and dared to live but had no strength long to abide. Being is trapped in non-being, non-existence. In non-existence, the consciousness force is trapped there in non-existence, and it is from that non-existence it is coming into existence. It is being, you see, in that sense, from non-being, where being from non-being fled. For what purpose? To live, because it was not able to breathe at all in that non-existence. In that non-existence, it was not able to breathe at all, you see. So, I fled from there. Where being from non-being fled and dared to live, but had no strength long to abide. To live, but had no strength long to abide. See what a line this one is saying. To live, I am, but had no strength, I am, long to, Rocky, abide, I am. That is how the line scans you. Above. So he, the being escaping from, see, that is how it means that it is the kind of the first emergence of being into existence. The whole thing coming into existence. From non-existence, something is going to happen. Breathing. So that is the principle of life. Above there, gleam a pondering brow of sky. While this is happening, who is looking after that? Somebody is kind of watching from above. Pondering brow of sky, tormented, crossed by wings of doubtful haze. That brow of sky is tormented whether something will happen or not, something will emerge or not. It is worried in that sense, you see. Crossed by wings of doubtful haze, adventuring with a voice of roaming wind and crying for a direction in the void, crying for a direction in the void. Yeah, you see, in that non-beings, it is coming out, and in what way it should go forward. It is looking for the direction, it is looking for the way out, you see. You see, really it's a great miracle how things have happened. From absolute nothing to things start happening and coming into existence. That's a real great miracle actually. Crying for a direction in the void, like blind souls looking for the selves they lost. Non-being was his lost soul, and his being looking for that lost soul now, you see. Like blind souls looking for self they lost, and wandering through unfamiliar world, wings of vague questioning, met the query is speed, wings of vague questioning, wings of talking. You see, it's a very beautiful line starting with the talking. Wings of vague questioning, continuing, met, I am, anapasis. The query of speed, again anapasis. Wings of vague questioning, met query of speed. And after denial, dawned a dubious hope. You see, the being has escaped from non-being, and a kind of a dawn, a very dubious hope has started appearing in front of it, that, well, something might happen out of that thing. After denial that is non-being's presence, a hope of self and form and live to live. A hope of self. Well, that being who has escaped, hope of self and form, will assume a form, and live to live. Live to live. Kind of a permission it is seeking to exist. It is a kind of seeking a permission to exist. Live to live. Leave me to my fortune. Leave me to my job, you see, like that. Now, actually, this phrase, live to live, is a kind of a technical phrase. Technical phrase. Live to live. You are permitted to exist. You are permitted to exist. I am saying, but in the court language, it is a very common word, live to live, in the court language. So, I mean, Savitri, because he has seen all that thing in the jail, he had to live. From the prison, he had to go to the court. It was a kind of a live to live, you see. It was a kind of live to live, you see. Live to live. Leave of court's permission from the judge to take some action in a lawsuit that requires an absence or delay. An attorney might request a leave of court in order to file an amendment. See, the case is going on and the attorney is asking for leave of the court so that he gets time to make whatever changes he wants to make in his submission. You see. Attorney might request a leave of court in order to file an amendment, a formal declaration of a claim or a defense. It is an interval of rest. Leave to live is an interval of rest in that sense. Say, in the court, furlough is one of the things. Furlough is granted to prisoners, means under certain grounds, a prisoner is given leave, he can go and live with his family or wherever he wants for a fixed duration of time. But then again, he has to go back to the prison, you see. So that furlough. So that is the kind of a thing which is present here, live to live, you see. The prisoner goes to the family, lives with them for some time and comes back. Under certain circumstances, there are a number of cases which have happened recently in Indian courts also. It must be happening in European courts also, see, live to live. So Savitri, you see, that way, his knowledge, his background is very vast about all these worldly matters, and he uses the phrase, live to live. What a phrase, you see. No? And see, the beauty of this line, the pronunciation is almost live to live. See, it is not, see, there is a slight difference in the pronunciation. You have to make a certain distinction between live and live. See, it is not live to live, it is live to live. Actually, this word live, in terms of homophones, sounds same. Live, and live, L-I-V-E. See, you have to now, whether it is live or live, that also you have to make a distinction in the context of things, you see. This word is a very peculiar word in English, that way, live or live, you see. Live is not live to live, it is live to live, you see. And the birth of that which never yet could be, that is the hope. The birth of that for which never yet could be, and joy of the mind's hazard, the heart's joy, grace of the unknown, and hands of sudden surprise, and a touch of sure delight in unsure things. That is the hope. A touch of sure delight in unsure things. That is the delight. That is the hope, you see. To a strange, uncertain tract, his journey came. Ashwapati's journey has come to this point now, where consciousness played with unconscious self. Well, that is the miracle. You see, there is total unconsciousness. Now the consciousness is coming into operation and is playing with unconsciousness. The birth was an attempt or episode. So in this vast unconsciousness, to live is an attempt to exist. It is live to live. It is live to live, see, in a time. It is live to live, see.